We have Executive Chairman Courtney Chamberlain from Minera IRL, a diversified gold company, a developer and a producer in Latin America. Courtney, could you just explain to us what the portfolio is for Minera IRL?
Yes, thanks, Sandra. We've got one operating gold mine. It's been in production about 2.5 years. That provides the cash flow for the company. We've got two pre-development projects, one in pre-feasibility and one in feasibility. And we have a big portfolio, exploration portfolio.
Okay, so what are your key objectives for your resource and the growth for production?
Our key objectives are to build a mining company. We're not a junior explorer. We believe in exploration, but our background is development and operations. And our goal is to build a portfolio of mine, a diversified mid-tier mining company. We had a very good start with Courtney, and that provides a cash flow going forward, but it's got to be underpinned by a resource base. And in the last year and a half, we've taken our resource base from 100,000 ounces to over 2 million ounces. This year, in particular, we've done a lot of infill drilling, so it's a very high-quality resource base. Our market cap per ounce in resource is only $80 an ounce. So we have a lot of upside potential on unlocking value.
Now, you've been producing gold in Courtney since March 2008. Could you explain how you're able to move that project into production?
Yes, that project we sourced in 2002. At that stage, it was undrilled. It's situated in a fairly remote part of Peru at 5,000 meters above sea level, so there's not a lot of oxygen for us gringos up there. But we took it through 3 stages of exploration and drilling. We did a feasibility study on it. We did the permitting, and that was the basis for raising money on the IPO in London. We used that money to build the mine. We brought it in on time, on budget, and we made a return on capital in just 7 months. Since then, it's been a little gem. We've continued to overproduce, and this year we expect to generate about $40 million in sales. We have a $1,000 margin. We produced for $400 an ounce, and we're getting close to $1,400 for sales at the moment.
So if we look forward to, over the next few years, what do you think the level of gold production will be?
Courtney is only a modest deposit. It's a starter project. It's extremely important to us, but it will wind down by about 2015. And that's why the pipeline of new project is so important. And that's why we need to get the new projects up and running in the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay, you have 2 key development projects. So could you outline the key features and plans for Olleachia? Is it Olleachia?
Olleachia.
Olleachia project in southern Peru.
Yeah, Olleachia is our key project. It's a project which we acquired from Rio Tinto in 2006. It represented Rio Tinto's best gold project in Peru at the time. It went out for competitive tender. We won the tender. It took us 15 months to negotiate a surface rights agreement with a local community. We started exploring in early 2008 and drilling in late 2008. We very quickly were able to announce a discovery there. About a year ago, in November 2009, we completed a scoping study based upon 1.3 million ounces in inferred category. That indicated a viable operation that would cost about $150 million to build. Cash cost of about $400 an ounce, but a long mine life and 120,000 ounces per annum. On that basis, we moved into pre-feasibility study. So this year we've been very immersed in the process of gathering a lot more detailed data, doing the drill out. Just yesterday, we published a new resource on that. We've converted a lot of our inferred resource to indicated resource, and we've added to the total. We now have 1.6 million ounces there, and the deposit is open, which means it is still, it continues in both directions, and it continues down strike. So we have a lot of upside potential there. Very important project for us.
Now, in addition, you're developing Don Nicolas in the Desado Massif, now in Santa Cruz. Now, could you explain the key features of Don Nicolas and how you intend to progress the project as you move forward?
Sure. The Patagonia Business Center was through the acquisition of a former AIM-listed company called Hidefield Gold. We acquired that company about a year ago. It was attractive to us because in past lives I had some experience in that part of the world. I knew the Desierto Massif was an emerging gold and silver mining district. You'll hear a lot about it going forward. There were two real things that attracted us. One is that there was about 360,000 ounces of gold in resource. We saw that as a starter project, one that we could take into feasibility study very quickly. We are now in feasibility study. This year we've done 17,000 meters of infill drilling, and we'll complete a feasibility study there mid-next year. Objective is to build a mine by 2012, around 60,000 ounces a year, $400 an ounce cash cost, and that will be our next production unit. Now that's one of the attractions. The other attraction is because it's in a emerging district, there have been many discoveries made by other companies in recent times. We picked up the third largest ground package in the Desierto Massif, some 2,700 square kilometers.
How did you manage that?
Well, that was basically the portfolio they had put together. And being a junior company, they didn't apply a huge amount of funds to exploration because they couldn't afford it. We spent over $5 million there this year, and we're now testing some of these mini targets. And we've already made a discovery. We made a discovery called Escondido. It's immediately contiguous to the Mariana Las Candelarias project, which has got a lot of attention, particularly in London in recent times. We're very good friends with the Mariana people. We have put 11 holes into that adjacent ground that's on our property. 10 of the 11 holes are mineralized with gold. We have intersections similar to what Mariana have, clearly as part of the same deposit. And so we're currently putting some meat in the bones on that one. We're also testing other exploration projects. And we're going to increase our exploration budget to $4 million next year.
Yeah, and talking about exploration, you know, alongside the production and development you've got exploration, is it in Peru, Argentina, and Chile?
Well, the Chile project we've wound down. We like Chile, but we're not exploring in Chile at the moment. But certainly we're putting our budget for next year is $10 million in exploration. A lot of money for a small company like ourselves. $4 million will go into Oyachilla, $4 million into the Desierto Massif, and $2 million into two other projects in Peru, which we're pretty excited about.
Mm-hmm. Now, what news flow could investors expect over the next 6 months?
Well, there's quite a lot happening, actually. We put out an update on the resource at Oyachilla yesterday. We'll put out an update on the resource in Argentina toward the end of January, early February. We have exploration news that will progressively come out from some of our exploration drilling. We are scheduling the completion of the Oyachilla pre-feasibility study in around May. The Don Nicolas Argentina feasibility study in June, July. And we will also be announcing the commencement of an exploration tunnel at Oyachilla once we've got the pre-feasibility study done there.
Okay. Now, as a producer and developer, do you still see a need for Minera IRL to also be an explorer?
I think that's a very important part of the business plan. I personally don't believe you can buy a good deposit. If you could, you couldn't afford it. So if you really want a world-class deposit or a really good quality deposit, you have to find it. Now, that's the high-risk end of the business. We have a team of some 30 geoscientists working on it. When I say high risk, by way of example, in the last 8 or 9 years, we've had about 50 projects on our books. We've made 3 discoveries. Now, by industry standards, that's a very good track record. And in our exploration portfolio, we look for good quality projects. We look for things that have got a better than even chance of success, maybe a more advanced project. And then we drill holes.
Now, you have an extensive mining background, and you also have a family history that has been involved in mining. Can you just give us some information about that? Yeah,
I do. I grew up in a mining family and bounced around from one mining, we call them mining camps in those days, and some of them were, mining towns to another in western United States, South Africa, and I then went to University in Idaho. After that, I went back to Africa for 7 years and worked in Namibia, and then got involved with a project in Australia, development and management. And I served 13 years on the board of Newmont Australia and then Newcrest Mining before we started our consultancy, Investor Resources Limited, which is the IRL in Minera IRL. That's now wound down, but we're building our own mining company now.
And what do you like about the industry?
Oh, I think it's a dynamic industry. It's a small college of people, and they're very mobile. So you can hop on a plane anywhere in the world. There'll be somebody on the plane that you know, more than likely. Yeah. It's also exciting to me in that it's internationally diverse. I've worked in 39 countries in my career, so you do get to see the world. It's a pity that it's not more attractive to the younger generation these days, because I think it's a very exciting career. And I mean, miners these days aren't rape and pillagers. They are environmentalists. A lot of them grew up in the mountains and in the bush. We've got very stringent environmental controls. We've got very strong standards of working with local communities and plowing money back into things. And that makes the whole package come together. So it's a good business.
Okay, thank you very much, Courtney, and we look forward to watching Minera IRL.